Whoa. What it is, y'all? Robbie TV, Shape back here. We back at it. Let me make sure I'm connected to the Bluetooth. We back at it, baby. So yeah, man. Got a couple topics to talk about today. I meant to go live this weekend, man, but we had went out. I should have went live, did a little vlog or something. So we went to this nice bowling alley, man. My girl, for real. It's cool. So yeah, but you know we got some topics going on today. You know we got some topics. We got Stephen A, man. Stephen A got all that smoke for the black guy, man. All that smoke for the black brothers. But he ain't had none of that smoke for Serena Williams' husband. Which we already know. We are pretty sure we already know what Serena Williams' husband, you know what I mean, what he associates with, allegedly. I don't know. I mean, I'm just speculating. But so I'm pretty sure Stephen A, if anything Stephen A would have said wrong, he would have lost his job. So it was best in his best interest to be quiet. But you know what I mean, even though Stephen A, he don't get no, you know what I mean, Stephen A already been on the sucker list, you know what I mean, the coons list for real. He don't get no points for real. He been lost his credibility. But it's just on the fact that, like, he let this man really, you know what I mean, play with him, like, on national TV for real. You know what I mean? Like, and I mean, you know, the white man, you know, he got a point. You know what I mean? Like, he did say something about his wife. You feel me? But I thought Stephen A was gonna have a little something to say. You know what I mean? Say back, at least, you know, the highest paid ESPN analyst or something like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, you already know Stephen A. He when it comes to the, you know what I mean, to the people that cut his checks, he ain't saying nothing. And it's just so I've seen Steven Jackson had something to say about it. And yeah, then we got Memphis, man. I'm hearing that they got the National Guard in Memphis, man. And I'm hearing that they down there cleaning house. From what I'm hearing, they saying there ain't been no murders, ain't been no nothing. What's up, man? What's up, man? Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel. What's up, Drew? Sitting on here talking about Stephen A, man. Stephen A was sitting here looking like a straight sucker online, man. Ain't had nothing to say. You know what I mean? Oh, Stephen A, man. If that was a black brother, you know he'd have said something back. You already know. Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel, man. Like, subscribe. Let me see. So yeah, this is he said that the guy said he built $1 billion companies, and that's cool. You know what I mean? I mean, nobody can argue with that. You know what I mean? But you know that ain't the end all be all for real. You feel what I'm saying?
But it wasn't a real
like,
pull-up. A pull-up is when the person is there and you say what you need to say to the person's face. Like, I know Alex is a busy person, but when first
like,
it didn't escalate or anything.
Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel. What's going on, Drew? I'm doing good, man, at work. Sitting here talking about
essentially implying that it didn't escalate or anything like that. He is her husband. He loves her dearly. They have two wonderful children together. And I have absolutely no issue with him whatsoever wanting to address that situation with me because that's her husband. And I certainly meant no disrespect towards him at all. I was just saying that men, knowing us as men, you know, if we're married and our wife is showing energy towards anybody else, even in a negative way, we're asking ourselves, if you're happy, why show that energy? You know, that's it. But that's all it was. But I wasn't going to get into it on national television. I'm a professional. Now, if it had escalated and he wanted to get into it more, we'd kept the cameras rolling. I'd have said fine. But he was sitting there saying, you guys were married, right? So, you know, you give him marital advice. That's how he framed it. And he says, I give advice about building companies because that's glad that it didn't escalate, essentially implying that I'm not married, so who am I to say something like that? I'm saying, paraphrasing. I think that's a fair comment on his part. I don't have to agree with it, but I took no offense to it, you know. And if I had been in studio and that was something that he wanted to broach, I would have reiterated what I said, maybe in a more respectable manner than my initial reaction after Super Bowl Sunday when I was just having fun. But that's neither here nor there. The point is that I respect him. That's her husband. That's his wife. And evidently, he didn't like what I said. I respect it, and I wish him.
Also, too, Stephen A. Smith, I think you had some marriage advice for me. Right? Or...
Well, you know what? Listen, I didn't. People, headlines are headlines. We can get into that another time. But I
was hoping you were going to be here.
I am not qualified. Married? Right. Oh no, not me. Well, I ain't qualified, my brother. I'm not qualified.
I was going to ask you because you hadn't been married before, right?
I am married.
No, see. Okay. Yeah, because I give advice to plenty of founders who want to build billion-dollar companies, and the reason I do that is because I build billion-dollar companies.
Yeah.
So I generally try to stay in my lane with advice.
Then we'll talk marriage advice later. That's been 13 years strong. We got you. Alexis, thank you very much. Athlos NYC 2-night event in New York. Incredible.
Yeah, Stephen A. He knew to shut his ass up. Now this, before we get into what he said, this was the her husband responded for real. Which, I mean, he had every right to. He did say, you say something about my wife, you know what I mean? I'm going to respond. You feel what I'm saying? Which, even though Stephen A. was, he was right, in my opinion. You feel what I'm saying? I don't really bang with Stephen A. Especially Stephen A. be on some coon shit. But, he was right. That was my wife, too. Hey, why you getting up there doing this dance and all? Even though, like she said, she is from Compton. I ain't, you know what I mean? She is, so, her crip walk was looking a little... It was looking a little valley. I ain't gonna lie, Serena. I know you had it there, you baby. She had a nice little crip walk, but at the Super Bowl, that was the last year. But I mean, he got every right to say something about his wife. You know what I mean? He do build billion-dollar companies. He is a billion-dollar. He did build a billion-dollar company. So, you know what I mean? Hey, but that that ain't. You know what I mean? Like, come on now, bro. We know what you is and what you know what I mean? So, that wasn't I guess that he was, I know his context was saying like, hey, I give my advice on what I give. And Stephen A. haven't never been married before, but married, girl, if you married, it's even worse. You know what I mean? So, but if married, going together, whatever, I wouldn't want my wife or girlfriend showing any type of interest or, you know what I mean, trying to prove something or whatever to her ex, you know what I mean? That would make it seem like she trying to, you feel what I'm saying? She still got some type of feelings for him. So I do felt what Stephen A. was talking about, you know what I mean? I would have felt the same way. I ain't gonna lie, like, whoa, what you doing? Why you gotta do this and all that? But I'm pretty sure, they paid a pretty penny and all that, and it is what it is. So, hey, I just want to get on and say that, but we gonna get what, anytime Stephen A. fuck up, you gotta have his motherfuckers that don't like him, like Steven Jackson, go come and respond. Yeah, baby, Steven Jackson was right too. He have all that rah-rah. Stephen A. he rah-rah what he would be rah-rah with the black brothers. You feel what I'm saying? But like you say, this guy right here, man, I'm pretty sure he got some ties in that industry, and he could have probably had Stephen A. Smith job snatched in a heartbeat. He just said the wrong thing. So, yeah, it was in Stephen A.'s best interest to just be quiet. You feel what I'm saying? Even though he wouldn't have, there was a black brother, he wouldn't have, he definitely had a response. He had a fast one, too. So, we know Stephen A. got his picks and got his choice, and he going to, nail to the white man. But that's the ones who cut his check. So, what can you expect for real? You know what I mean? But this was the initial, this was initially he said about Serena Williams. That Super Bowl. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, man. Subscribe.
Her and Drake were together at one point in time. And it seemed like everybody wanted to get their lick back. How about Drake?
RC's, what Stephen A. is saying, if he was in that situation and now he's married, he's not allowing none of that's happening.
No.
That's what he said.
If I'm married and my wife is going to join trolling her ex, go back to his ass. Because clearly you don't belong with me. What you worried about him for and you with me?
Go ahead, Stop it.
What?
Stop it, Stephen A.
This is true.
If you with Serena Williams, you gonna be a kept man anyway. Don't start that.
Really?
They being Stephen A ass though. Like if Stephen A need to get big headed.
Can I ask a question?
He need to get big headed like a motherfucker.
Honestly, hilarious. You're gonna be a cat man.
Oh, hey, yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I think Alex
is doing pretty well. You know, he found it ready. Her and Drake.
Yeah, be like, yeah, they funny. They be a Stephen A butt. Like, man, Stephen A, he talk all that shit. Even though Stephen A is, I think he the highest paid actor, highest paid analyst at ESPN. You feel what I'm saying? But you can see they make him work for that shit. You know what I mean? Stephen A, they make him work for that shit. But you know this Steven Jackson response. You know Steven Jackson go have to say something. You know what I mean? Anytime Stephen A do something wrong, Steven Jackson, Matt Balls out there in his ass. You hear me? Kwame Brown. You know you guys, I know Kwame Brown said something. I already know. We're going to have to see what Kwame Brown said, man. They be on Stephen A Hills. That shit funny, yo. I ain't gonna lie to you. This what Steven Jackson had to say. I wait what Kwame Brown said too. That shit gonna be funny. That's what Steven Jackson had to say.
You get loud and all in your feelings about Braun. When Braun, he talking to a black billionaire. When we talking to a white billionaire, you humble. And you come back on your show talking real respectful, mild manner, man. Hey, bro, listen, bro. And you dogging the black women. Like, bro, we just stay out of politics and stick to talking about sports you never played. All right? Just stick to doing that, bro. We not gonna vote for you if you talk. I heard you talking about running. You don't do that, bro. We not gonna vote for you. No, we're not. But check this out, bro. Stop, bro. Okay, you do not have the same energy for other people, but you got a lot of energy for Braun and black women and not everybody else. Well,
that is true though. He did have a lot of smoke for Brown. He had a lot of smoke, but Brown was ready. Brown pressed him on it. Yeah, yo, stop playing with my son, Doug. Yeah, man, Brown was about to give him a wedgie. Yeah, man, Brown straight walked down on him. And you hear Stephen A talking, I stand by grandma. I ain't da. He definitely, he was getting big, real big. And Brown a billionaire too. He right, Brown a billionaire for sure. Hell yeah. So he means Steven Jackson right. And we already know Stephen A. Smith be on some bullshit when it comes. He did the same thing with with Kaepernick and all them. You know what I mean? He was on some bullshit with Kaepernick and all them, and he was, you know what I mean, Kyrie Irving, all them. You know what I mean? But when it came to the white, you know what I mean? Like he don't really be. He be real quiet, cat be real subtle, real calm. When it comes to the black man, you know, he out up, he rowdy, this, he that. Loud, all that. Like we already know Stephen A, man. They make him be in that character for real. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel, man. Like, subscribe. We talking about the Stephen A. Smith situation.
You come back on your show.
You know what I mean?
Also, too, Stephen A. Smith, you had.
Meanwhile, Jasmine Crockett or somebody like that. Ladies,
Meanwhile,
Jasmine Crockett or somebody like that. Ladies, I respect. Intelligent women. No doubt. But how Jasmine Crockett chooses to express herself, I'm like, is that going to help your district in Texas? How much work goes into that? I'm just going to go off about Trump, cuss him out every chance I get, say the most derogatory, incendiary things imaginable, and that's my day's work. That ain't work. Work is saying, that's the man in power. I know what his agenda is. I'm not exactly in the position to stop him since the Republicans have the Senate and the House. But maybe if I'm willing to work with this man, I might get something out of it for my constituency. Jasmine Crockett or somebody like that.
He got real smoke. He got real smoke on But black women, you know what I mean? Like you say with Brown and all them. Like that's how he was. Let me see what he said about Brown. Like he had big smoke for Brown. You know, LeBron, I give it to LeBron, man. LeBron is the GOAT for real, for real. Like LeBron really is the GOAT. I ain't even gonna lie. Like we just looking at like just longevity and stats. Like LeBron, he the GOAT for his impact. Yeah, man. Like LeBron, he not the greatest in my eyes. You know, of course, that's always. Yeah, I'm a Kobe guy. You feel me? I'm Kobe all day. But of course, Jordan, Kobe, Dennis Brown. But yo, far as like just, you know what I mean? Just like overall achievements, yo. Just on the family side, he got his son in the league. He playing with his son. His son can throw him a oop. You know what I mean? Like shit like that. Like yo, you can't get no better than that, especially for a black man. You know what I mean? But we're gonna say when he was talking about LeBron, him and LeBron was going at it. You know what I mean? When LeBron confronted him and all that at the game. Like that wasn't a good look, bruh. I mean, they could have he could have did that, you know what I mean, a better way.
It's gonna be 41.
I don't know why it's discussed so much in our sport. Like, okay, you weren't a great player, you never won a championship. It's like,
Here we are. Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel, man. Like, subscribe. We had 300. We on our way to 350. I mean, we need 350. Then we have 400 and 450, then 500. You know what I mean? So make sure y'all hit the like button, man. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. But we're gonna get on to Memphis next. They them troops down in Memphis, boy. Heard they clean the house down there. So yeah, but make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel. But this what you'll have to say about Brown.
41. It's in his 23rd years. Stat padding his way to ignorant folks out there thinking that's gonna make him the GOAT over Jordan, not realizing that most of the stuff it took him to do in 20 plus years, Jordan did in 13. We gonna look at all of that stuff, and that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm telling you where the hell I stand. Here we are. He's gonna be 41. He's in his 23rd years. Stat padding his way to ignorant folks out there thinking that's gonna make him the GOAT over Jordan, not realizing that most of the stuff it took him to do in 20 plus years, Jordan did in 13.
Hey, look, yo, why you got kick, you know what I mean?
Don't need to be nobody. Here's what I have given long stat padding his way.
Well, look, this one him and
Only thing that the NBA players are right now. When I went on national television.
this one, yo.
Which leads obviously to you and Stephen A.
Make sure y'all like, subscribe.
That feels like a moment that had been brewing for a long time.
he's like on a Taylor Swift tour run right now.
Oh yeah, we're watching it. We're also,
Oh yeah.
you're seeing it as well. It's,
He literally, it started off with, I didn't want to address it.
yeah, sure.
I didn't want to address it. I wasn't going to address it. But since the video came out, I feel the need to address it.
You would be not to talk about it.
Are you kidding me? If there's one person that couldn't wait to the video to drop so you could address it, it's your ass. Like, seriously, it's, and like another, he completely like missed the whole point. The whole point. Never would I ever not allow people to talk about the sport, criticize players about what they do on the court. That is your job, to criticize or
Which leads obviously to you and Stephen A.
Yeah, he was going off. Look, this him right here. Look like bro, like stop playing with my son, yo. Straight walked off on him. You see LeBron, like fuck around like, bro, stop fucking playing with my son, Doug. I ain't take no motherfucking ball. Straight walked off on him. Look, LeBron towered over there. So LeBron, Stephen A like 6'2", 6'3". Brown like 6'9". Brown tall as shit. I remember the time too. Look, yo was going at it then. Then you hear Stephen A come back on Then you hear Stephen A come back on First Take, like, yeah, I held my ground, like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, come on, bruh. You feel me?
He approached me during the game, and he said, "Stop effing with my son. That's my effing son. Stop effing with my son." I said, "What? Nah, man, straight up, man to man. Real talk. Stop effing with my son." And I saw how furious he was. And I said, "We can talk about it later." "Nah, F that. Stop effing with my son. That's my son. I said, "All right, though. Fine." And he walked away. That's all he said.
God failed him, though.
He approached me during the game, and he said, "Stop effing with my son. That's my effing son. Stop effing with my son." I said, "What? Nah, man, straight up, man to man. Real talk. Stop effing with my son."
Can you blame him, though? Can you blame his son? And Stephen A was going in on his son, though. You know what I mean? Like, yo, that's that man's son. Yo, and you should be happy. Cut him some slack, that, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't gonna lie, Bronny, you know what I mean? LeBron, he wasn't showing his full potential, but he probably told Shorty was nervous as shit. You know what I mean? Like, his father in the league, it's like all eyes on him. Did he in LA? You know what I mean? Like, you know, Shorty was, you know what I mean? Did he, like, you say Shorty had that grit grind. He grew up with that grit grind, like how LeBron and all of, you know what I mean? His people before him did. You know what I mean? Like, niggas never really came for the struggle. Brody had a good life. You know what I mean? So Brody, you know what I mean? He ain't got that hunger. So I get what they was saying. He took another kid's spot and all this and all that. I get it. But, you know what I mean? Still, though, yo, that's not his fault. You know what I mean? He couldn't help who his father was. And his father got him that position, which, I mean, we can't be mad at. We see these motherfuckers all the time. These billion-dollar companies get their sons the fucking Fortune 500 company. And the son then fucked it over, fell for bankruptcy and all types of shit. You feel me? So it's like, yo, we can't be happy. That's why I give it to LeBron, man. Like, if I don't get LeBron nothing else, I give it to LeBron, yo. He is a good role model for black men, man. He got a black wife, you know what I mean? Beautiful black children, you know what I mean? We ain't caught him out here cheating. We ain't caught him beating his wife up behind the scene, nothing. You know what I mean? He kept a clean resume. I'm pretty sure he probably stepped down. You know what I mean? Come on now, whatever. Allegedly, I'm not saying he did. You know what I mean? But, you know, he a man. You know what I mean? But still, though, he still kept his family intact. And then the main thing, like he said, he got his son in the league playing with him. You know, yo, that's greatness right there, bro. Like, and that was never done before. So he in the book of world records with doing that, playing with his son. You know what I mean? On the same court, same team. You feel what I'm saying? You can't get no better than that, yo. So that's why I say, you know, LeBron, you know what I mean? He didn't have a biggest impact as Jordan or Kobe. But, you know, still, you know what I mean? LeBron, he the GOAT in his own way. I ain't gonna lie to you. And for Stephen A was fucking with his son. Kept saying his son, kept coming at his son and shit. Shit, I'd have said the same shit to Stephen A, man. Fuck, keep saying about my son, bro. You a black man, too. Then you crushing my son's spirit, bro. This one nigga 19, 20 years old, bro. You the biggest black sports analyst on television right now. You keep coming at my son, man. Come on, no, we ain't got the best relationship. We're gonna cut my son some slack, bro. God damn, you feel what I'm saying? Then you in LA, like I think First Take is in LA. You know what I mean? Or New York, one of them.
Which was like,
but this was just a spark.
I knew what he was talking about. I've spoken about this before. Matter of fact, I heard that not many, not all, but a few players were upset at me about that. I think one player in particular was Draymond Green, who I haven't spoken to since, and has no desire to speak to me primarily because of this, I suppose. And I found out the way that I found out, which was last night. I knew what he was talking about.
Yeah, so, yeah, man, that's what it was. You always kept coming at them. Hey, man, son, but you feel me? So you got all this smoke for LeBron, bro. But when a white man confronts you about what you're saying, you know what I mean, about his wife, you ain't doubling down, you know what I mean? You ain't saying none of that. You feel what I'm saying?
Also, too, meanwhile,
Like, for real. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I wasn't feeling that neither, bro. I wasn't feeling that. I wasn't feeling that. So, yeah. But, yeah, that, you know how Stephen A get, man. We already know Stephen A a puppet for real.
I don't talk about him unless I'm asked. There's no situation, there's no relationship. He doesn't like me and I don't like him.
Can we mediate? Can we increase the
There's
fee?
nobody that can mediate.
Okay.
I don't talk about him unless I'm asked. Some people say, well, why you talk about him? Because I was asked. This is what I do for a living. So how the hell am I going to get away with saying no comment? I have no desire to talk about him at all. He is, in my mind, the second greatest player in the history of basketball. He's been an incredible ambassador for the game of basketball. His respect has been earned, not given. Nobody can deny that. But that's the basketball player, not the man. People don't know the things that have happened behind the scenes, the kind of things that have been engaged in an effort to hurt me. There's a lot of that I know that I don't say. And then to go on a Pat McAfee show, which comes directly on after my show, on the channel that I work on, to insult me. But if I never, ever speak to him again in life, now there's no situation, there's no relationship.
Yeah, so they really don't like each other for real. Yeah, that's fucked up though. The two biggest black guys in basketball entertainment, which is LeBron and Stephen A, falls on the analytics side. Because Stephen A is the, you know, he the biggest sports analyst for a minute. While everybody look at, you know, crack on Stephen A, how much he making. I think Stephen A even got like a damn near, he making damn near what the NBA players make. This nigga make like, I think Stephen A make like what, 40, got a contract for $30-40 million, something like that. That's a nice contract. He got the biggest contract ever for a sports analyst, period. Whether it's Fox, NBC, whatever, you know what I mean, whatever, for ESPN, he got the biggest for all of them. So, you know what I mean, that's fucked up how the two biggest, and you know, they both, you know, brothers from the, you know, the cities of America. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's fucked up how they don't really fuck with each other, but it is what it is. But yeah.
I'm gonna be taking my talents.
Yeah, make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel, man. Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel. But yeah, it is what it is. We already know that Stephen A. Smith be on some corny shit, you know, some sellout shit. So yeah, I done got Stephen A. plenty of times. You know what I mean? He don't really get too much respect for real. So. But yeah, make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel, man. We about to touch on this Memphis situation. What's going on YouTube? See what they talking about. They said the troops in Memphis, man, they cracking down. They ain't with the dumb shit at all. Oh yeah, we got that mass shooting in South Carolina too, man. We got touch on that. I'm gonna touch on that later. I'm gonna go live later. You say this, like, come on, the dumb shit. So yeah, we got the we about to see what's up with this we about to see what's up with this in Memphis. Let me see. Got to see what's going on. They say the National Guard, they in Memphis. Say motherfuckers in Memphis right now. Let me see.
Memphis is a totally different place right now. For real. I did not know that President Trump was sending them guys down there. But when I say it's police everywhere, for real though, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I ain't never seen Memphis like this before. Cause I go down there and drop off a load at the hospital. You know, you see your normal scragglies, whatever, you know what I mean? Hospital, I don't know why hospitals are always a place where they won't hang out at, but it is what it is. But traffic was different. Police is on every corner. I'm like, yo, I'm thinking that they was gonna send them guys to Chicago. I know. See, I don't go to Chicago, so I wouldn't know that anyway. But boy, Memphis, boy, I know they people's like, yes, crime is slowed down. I mean, they look like a totally different city right now. The vibes are different. I don't know. I guess it's just me, man. But Memphis changing for the good, y'all. As they should. The people need that, though. The people need to stop all this riffraff and all this craziness these young kids got going on, man. Scared to leave your house, scared to go to the grocery store, scared to go to the gas station. One time, I wouldn't even go to certain gas stations if I see too many of them out here. For real, I'd keep it pushing. I wouldn't give a damn if I'm about to run out of gas. I'm going to keep it pushing. So, right now...
Yeah, he said motherfucking... Damn. Copyright for me. God damn. They surround your shit. Hopefully they don't bring them motherfuckers to Baltimore, y'all. I hope not. They got your shit surrounded. God damn. Damn, that motherfucker heavy. God damn.
These are National Guard soldiers sleeping on the floor because the federal government activated them at a federal...
God damn.
The National Guard didn't even say nothing. Them folks just kept riding. They said they're between them two folks. I said...
Hey there, and greetings from Memphis. If you are wondering how you can help your Memphis neighbors while we're under...
We are not a city of cowards. We are a city of extraordinarily powerful people.
God damn.
To stand up.
National Guard is officially in Memphis.
They're trained upon, and I will...
That shit crazy.
Sad about the criminals, but let's...
That shit crazy, I ain't gonna lie to you. That shit crazy, yo. Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel. We talk about the National Guards in Memphis. Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, you ain't playing, man. He ain't fucking around with them National Guard. He'll bring them motherfuckers. Trump is deploying them. I ain't really feeling that, though.
Hello and welcome to ABC 24 This Week. I am your host, Pepper Baker. You are here for the real stories. There will be about 150 guardsmen max deployed to Memphis, but now that number is a little questionable because we're hearing from Senator Brett Taylor that it could be 1,000 troops, and of course, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth also said up to 1,000 could be deployed here. Now there will be 3 different shifts, 8 hours each, covering the 24-hour day. Antonio Parkinson also said that the guardsmen will be unarmed and will not be making any arrests. And lastly, their primary assignment is visibility and support. But of course, the National Guard is joining the Memphis Safe Task Force's operations that started September 29th.
Damn.
So since then, the task force has made more than 500 arrests and seized more than 140 illegal guns. They've issued more than 2,600 traffic citations and more than over 20,000 active warrants currently in Shelby County. So there's still concern over profiling and pretextual traffic stop practices and just the overwhelming presence of law enforcement. So I'll open it up to discussion now. Otis, what do you think of more than 104? Of course, the National Guard is joining the Memphis Safe Task Force's operations that started September 29th. So since then, the task force has made more than 500 arrests and seized more than 140 illegal guns. They've issued more than 2,600 traffic citations and more than over 20,000 active warrants currently in Shelby County. So there's still concern over profiling and pretextual traffic stop practices and just the overwhelming presence of law enforcement. So I'll open it up to discussion now. Otis, what do you think the National Guard will add to the operations that are already underway?
Well, so far from what I've seen, they've added to photo ops for tourists who are in town. I heard that they were down at the pyramid and they were posing for pictures for people at the pyramid. So they are providing some photo ops. Beyond all of that, if they are here, and they obviously are here, to assist law enforcement, whether it's local police or any of these agencies from the federal government, to provide, some support, security, or just to ride along or be along with them. I mean, they're here, so that's fine. We'll see how big of an issue this profiling could be. There was a report, at least one report that 24 had earlier this week about a teenager who was kind of detained and, put in fear for no reason. He didn't do anything wrong. And so we'll just have to wait and see how this unfolds over the next several days, or if it lasts a year, which is what Pete Hegseth said. So we'll see what happens.
Most definitely. And Susan, I want to ask you just about the number that still seems to be getting worked out. We heard from Antonio Parkinson last night that it was 150 max. We know Hegseth and now Senator Brent Taylor saying up to 1,000 troops. Is that necessary? I mean, what do you think that it will be?
Well, as I understand it, there'll be one police officer.
DraftKings is the place
God
for those
damn,
who love
1,000 troops though.
Leonard's got a man streaking down.
God damn, they said he made over 150 arrests. No, 100. They said 150 arrests. They said over 20,000 warrants. God damn. They ain't playing. Yeah, they got something for them. I think they in Chicago. They protesting in Chicago. That shit crazy, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I don't want the National Guard come to Baltimore. Hopefully they don't. Shit, I ain't gonna lie. I do not want to see no motherfucking National Guard military riding down my streets. I do not. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't feel like we need all that. And that shit ain't gonna it's gonna maybe stop crime for the time being, but that ain't no real resource for the military. Come on now.
I can understand is that if the
make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel, man. Make sure y'all like, subscribe. We on our way to 350 subscribers, man. Like, subscribe to the channel. That's pretty much it. I don't need to hear what she talking about. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see what they talking about. Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel.
You can't hide. There's no way to hide.
According to a spokesperson with the Department of Justice, 627 arrests have been made and 155 firearms have been seized since their inception on September 29th. Residents we spoke to say they expect that number to increase.
But I will say thank you to Trump for bringing these National Guards and doing what they're doing down here in Memphis right now. For the first time in 5 years, and for the first time, my kids have been able to play in the backyard and be able to do it comfortably. When I tell you that the past 24, 48 hours has been the absolute craziest. I've had everything from politicians to racists to supporters. It's been a lot that's been going on.
And we're back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button, my people. You know that it helps us out a ton. And, of course, it helps you because it helps us keep bringing you these stories every day. I guess from people.
Rest. What is
they made 600 arrests. God damn.
With Capital One business cards.
No, that's they doing the work right there. God damn it. Let's see how many of them arrests was necessary though. 600 arrests. Come on now.
Potential arrival of the National Guard, WREG's rate.
You know, that's what you would think would be the case. You know, I'm trying to we have
seen a noticeable, significant rise in the cases coming into our office, on the order of 10 to 15 more per day in each of our general sessions dockets. That's early on. It's difficult for us to attribute exactly how many of those are related to the task force and how many of them are just regular arrests.
District Attorney Steve Mulroy says his office has been able to handle the recent increase in arrest. However, he does have concerns about the potential impacts on the jail population. Jail overcrowding has been an issue at 201 Poplar for years. And with the Memphis Safe Task Force reportedly making hundreds of arrests, it could potentially become a bigger problem.
We already have an overcrowded jail. And if this pace picks up and then sustains for a significant period of time, that jail overcrowding problem will be way exacerbated. So I do have concerns about that.
Once the federal task force leaves, DA Mulroy says time will determine if their actions had a long-term or short-term impact on Memphis crime. He tells WREG he hopes the federal agencies can eventually assist with the current backlog of outstanding arrest warrants. With the National Guard potentially arriving in Memphis on Friday, your news leader asked the DA about the type of presence he'd like to see.
You know, I've said in the past that, you know, if we have to have National Guard, it would be great if they could help with blight remediation. We certainly have a blight problem in Memphis, and there's a definite link between blight and crime.
The district attorney says he supports federal law enforcement assistance from individuals who are trained in civilian law enforcement. Reporting for your news leader from 201 Poplar.
Just 5 days. Today, we spotted some of them patrolling downtown Memphis, walking alongside a police officer on Riverside Drive. And Indivisible Memphis sharing this video with us. You can see around half a dozen guardsmen and women walking in Harbortown. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Alex Coleman.
That shit crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Why federal agents were at
they made 600 arrests. Just imagine how some of them arrests, bro. That's probably just petty arrests. You know what I'm saying? And they gonna get back. Like say, they gotta make sure you can't just make arrests, bro. Some motherfuckers ain't gonna be justified. So it's like you say, what you gonna do with the overpopulated jail system? You feel what I'm saying? Like, they could try and fix one problem and create a whole nother problem. You feel me? So it's like, yo, they you know what I mean? It ain't just a this ain't just a overnight fix. So we gonna do this, you know what I mean? They gotta have all your ducks in a row. You feel me? So, but yeah, man, it's saying that they ain't fucking around.
From having been born and raised here, the people that live here are very, I think, self-sufficient.